Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Monday night all over again, and welcome to Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation. Tonight, our special guest is Sunshine M. Swinson, author of the novel My Fit is Beautiful. Welcome this evening. Welcome to
Hello,
Zoom
how are
In.
you?
Thank you very much for being here. And Zoom In on a Fresh Conversation is brought to you by Eyeless Diamonds LLC, Milton McCulloch, author of Love and Emancipation, the host of Night Talk 2, L.D. Robinson from the Darrow Press, and the F.R.E.S.H Book Festival 2022, which will be held January 6, 7, 8 in the beautiful city of Daytona Beach. I want to give a quick shout out to the National Black Book Festival in the UK. I was a presenter there over the weekend, and I'm so humbled to have been invited. Thank you so much. And we hope to see you in 2022 or 2023. One of them years, we're going to get there to see you guys. Anyway, so Sunshine. If you have any questions for Sunshine, please put them in the chat box. This is being recorded. And Miss Sunshine, would you give us little tidbits about yourself?
Okay, hello everybody. Thank you all so much for this opportunity. This will actually be, I think, my first.
Yeah, I like being the first.
My book. So this should be a good one. Ask me
Yeah.
whatever you want to ask. Nothing is off the table.
Good.
So I'm Sunshine. I am from Portsmouth, Virginia, which is a cute little town inside of Hampton Roads. I am 38 years old, even though I keep telling people I'm 35. It's okay. I'm 38. I am a mother of two. I have a son. His name is Sincere. I have a daughter who is named after me. Her name is Sunshine as well.
Oh, nice.
I am currently what many consider a serial entrepreneur.
I would call it that.
Yeah, I'll take it. I think it sounds kind of cool. I own several businesses to include a restaurant, a cigar lounge, 2 fast food entities, and a host of smaller consulting and real estate development type businesses.
As I said, when I did some background on you, I got tired just reading about all the stuff that you do. So you are a serial entrepreneur, and that's one of my first questions. Tell us about being a serial entrepreneur, which includes becoming an author, and has being a member of a Greek organization helped you in your entrepreneurial endeavors?
Those are great questions. So me becoming an entrepreneur kind of started at a young age for me. My mom, we grew up in a humble beginnings. She was on public assistance, couldn't really do much for us financially, so we had to find ways to kind of make extra income. My mom used to get what we called back in the day food stamps. I think they call it TANF now or EBT.
We all got it.
We got the little booklet. I used to take her booklets, and she used to go and buy things like candy bars and cookies and chips, and kind of gave us like, hey, here you go. I don't have lunch money for you, but I do have these items. What you gonna do with it? My brother ate all of his. I learned very quickly that I could take a candy bar at the bus stop and sell it between 50 and 75 cents.
Right.
So from there, it was like every 3 days I was coming back to my mom, what we call re-up money. And it just kind of blossomed from there. I love the thrill of getting a product or getting a service and being able to make money off of it. So I opened my first business my freshman year of college. Well, no, I say sophomore year of college. It was a janitorial franchise. I got tired of working the late night shift. I had a child, and I was like, look, I'm just going to bet on myself. From there, within I'll say a 2-month period, I had all the cleaning business. I had all of the contracts on Military Highway, the car dealerships. And I had a cleaning business. So from there, I rapidly grew, and I learned that it was less about what I knew and my personality. If you can talk and provide great customer service, you can kind of fluff when you don't know what you're doing. So from there, I carried on. It always stuck in my head that I had to have a government job. My mom was, got out the projects. She went and got her a nice old government job. So that was the dream. You go to college and you get your government job. And that's exactly what I did. I worked for the Department of Defense, went on to local government management and budget development, strategic planning, capital improvement, did all of those things, and I was miserable. Because entrepreneurship was
in your blood. It's in your blood.
I always wanted. So I ended up putting my foot back in it in 2015. I opened up my first business, brick and mortar business called Fit Bar. And from there, I just kind of skyrocketed. I take pleasure in finding solving problems through entrepreneurship. As far as Greek, I would say yes. Sororityhood is very, very near and dear to me. I pledged in 2004 from the illustrious Epsilon Theta at Norfolk State University. And my sorority is very, very, we believe in sisterhood. So if a sister is doing something, everybody is going to jump on board. So the patronism from my sorority has definitely been top notch outside of anything else. Deltas are amazing.
Oh, right, exactly. I mean, it's like graduating from Duke University, right? If it's on your resume, it really makes a difference because you don't know who's going to look at it, right? It really does make a difference. So are your pardon me?
Was it a third part to that question?
No, you answered it. Yeah. Are your children on fire for entrepreneurship or no?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay.
This is the most exciting part. I started a company last year called Simple Wings. Simple Wings is a gourmet milkshake, gourmet wings and milkshake company that specializes in kind of a spin on wings. So we have wings that's called like a lemon drop. It's a butter lemon sauce topped that has a buttery glaze. It's like absolutely amazing. We have wings with crab meat on top, imported blue cheese crumbles. It just makes wings just so amazing. So my son's name is Sincere, and he went to college also at Norfolk State University.
Of course.
And he wasn't doing too well. He was not. He wasted mama money all the way. So I said, look, we're going to figure this out. So his birthday last year, I gifted him with this business, and I followed him through the first year, and he's completely taken it over. He's about to open up his second location, and he is doing an amazing job for a 20-year-old. So I'm excited. My daughter, she's up next. She can literally run the front end of any of my businesses with her eyes closed, and she is 14. So I'm excited, but I still want them to go the structure route with the education before they fully jump into entrepreneurship.
Well, you don't want to waste any more money. That's for sure. So yeah.
He's gonna pay for
it. Let her. When she's ready, she'll let you know, right? Yeah, she will let you know. So good. Other ethnic groups really push their children to be involved in the family business, and from front to back. And I'm glad to see that you have decided to pull them in to make sure that even if they don't do that, they can do something else, right, on an entrepreneurial level. So thank you so much for that. So your book serves as a guide for those looking to crack the code on achieving self-confidence and self-love at any size. So expound on this statement for us tonight.
So as someone who has suffered from obesity literally all my life, growing up, like I said, in a community where we didn't have much, we spent our mornings eating sugary cereals in front of the TV, watching cartoons. It was the way of life. So growing up, especially now in a social media type aspect, I see a lot of girls, a lot of young ladies, and even women struggling with their identity based on what social media and society have put out to be beautiful.
Right.
And what they don't understand is, and through my trial and error of crash dieting, going in and out of different programs and yo-yoing up and down, I still felt the same whether I was 150 pounds or I went up to 280 pounds. I still felt that discomfort inside of me, that something, I wasn't good enough. I still didn't look my best. They call it the fat girl syndrome, when you're smaller, but you still feel fat inside your head. And what I realized was had nothing to do with weight. It was all about mentally who you are, how you feel about yourself, and what you can do within, not on the outside. Whatever is going on in the inside ultimately comes on the outside. That's where the weight and the insecurities and the self-doubt comes into play. So during the pandemic, it really took a time and it isolated you, that you had to really deal with you and who you were. So I took that opportunity to expand on this concept that I started back in 2017, which My Fit is Beautiful started as a conference to help women to love their self, regardless of their shape, size, social, economic background. I got a man, I don't have a man. I'm going to wear summer outfits or I can't. We're going to do it now. And from there, My Fit is Beautiful started, and the book is here.
So did any of your weight situation have to do with heredity, or was it just on a personal level?
Definitely come from a line of what we like to call big bone women.
Well,
So
if you
yeah.
look at his skeleton, we all have the same size
Yeah.
bone, but it's okay. We like to go with that.
Yes, so it's definitely something that runs in my family. But I had a 50-50 chance. My father's side of the family was smaller. My mama's side of the family was nice and curvy and, thick like ladies. So I had a 50-50 chance, but it all came down to habits that were created inside of the household of eating patterns and not a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables and not understanding the context between eating and weight. It was eat all of your food. You can't get up from the table until you have eaten everything off your plate. And that created a stigma or kind of a thought process that no matter what, if you have it, you have to eat it all, even if you're hungry or not. So that carried on in life. And that's some of the teachings that we have to undo in our communities, that if the babies are finished, they're finished. Let them get up. It's okay. You can save it for later. But those type of habits I had to undo as an adult.
When you speak about childhood trauma and feelings of abandonment, do you believe those things were the catalyst into your having an issue with weight? Could you expound on that?
Yes, absolutely. It took some time to be able to actually recognize that that was even a trigger for me.
Mm.
At a young age, my father unfortunately suffered from what I like to call streetism. He wanted to be in the streets instead of ism with me. and that made me feel less than. So I sought comfort in other places. My mom was a single mother who fortunately made her way out of a tough situation. But during those times, she didn't have time to nurture me as a young woman. My brothers and sisters were in and out of prison, so I was kind of by myself all the time. So the only thing that was consistent, my mama had food stamps, so we had all the good food in the house. That was the only thing that never, ever, ever left me. And it always gave me a great feeling of once I eat, ooh, I feel great. So not having my father, not having my siblings around and having my mom work as much as she can, that turned to me feeling abandoned. And the only thing I had to fill that void with was food.
There was no sexual trauma involved, because a lot of times we get fat so nobody will look at us, right? Because of the
Yeah.
sexual trauma. No.
Fortunately, we didn't have any of that. I had a strict mom, so
But you were in the house.
yes, you ain't going nowhere. And my daughter can't stand me to this day because of we going together. But unfortunately, I didn't experience any of those traumas.
No, fortunately, you did not.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah,
fortunately,
yeah, yeah. Because I've talked to a lot of women who struggle with, depression, mental problems, weight, and it all started from, Uncle Robbie or
yeah.
Uncle Pat,
Mine was the rejection of my father. Every time
Mm.
he got like I said, a new girlfriend, a new interest in his life, I never became important. Well, I became less important. And I always fought for that attention. Being the youngest of four, you always have to fight for some type of attention. You have three others ahead of you, and it's a ton of interests and competing things that need to be. So you always fighting, and I never won. So I
Mm.
eventually quieted that need for fight to be a part of something, and food helped me sub that pain.
Were you able to have a conversation with your father about those issues? Is he still alive?
He is still alive, and I've tried over the years to have conversations prior to roughly about 3 months ago,
Right.
as we were finishing up the book. And he never really acknowledged it. He
Mm.
never acknowledged it. His main thing was, "Ah, girl, baby girl, I was there. Oh, baby girl, no, I don't know what you're talking about." And he would just kind of avoid it. But finally, roughly about 3 months ago, he came into my inbox because we hadn't talked for maybe over a year. And he said, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I finally, without my voice, I was able to put it in words and say, "You hurt me."
Right.
This is how it transferred into my life as far as weight. insecurities, dealing with different types of men, and trying to find your love. And you coming in and out of my life has traumatized me, and this is how I dealt with it. He finally acknowledged that you're right. I never felt good enough for you. I never felt good enough to be your father because you were so brilliant. He said, I remember at a young age, he said, you were roughly about 6 months, almost potty trained. He said that intimidated me as a father, that how did I get this gift of a child? She's beautiful, she's brilliant, and I'm nothing. And he said the pain of being your greatness pained me. So I decided to run away. It gave me so much relief. I'm talking, you have seen a 38-year-old cry, just all my eyelashes was gone. It was just a relief, like, wow, he gets it. So I forgave him, and we are developing a relationship today.
And it's amazing how we don't even think about how our fathers navigate us to the men that we deal with, right?
Yep.
You don't think about it until you're in the middle of it and you say, oh
Yep.
man, this guy's my daddy. He got to go.
Yeah.
He got to go.
Been there.
Yeah, he got to go. So anyway, when you decided that maintaining a healthy lifestyle at any size was something you could do, what did you do to change that? What did you do to navigate that?
Well, I just kind of, and I talk about this in my book, I was in the best shape of my life in 2015 when I opened my business. I was amazing. It was all there. And my goal came to help other women. I wanted them to feel as good as I looked. Even though I was going through so much, I was going through a divorce inside. I was still having the same habits, but I still was able to work out to try to balance it off. But inside, I was still not there. Not until I took the time to evaluate what I had going on inside that I really developed self-love. That it doesn't matter now what size I go to, if I'm busy, if I'm traveling the country, doing different business deals, and I gained 10 extra pounds. I'm trying to find the great things about it. Oh, it went here or it went there, and all of those type things. It's like, hey, I got more to love right now. Or if I drop that down, just happens to be now I'm not as busy. Now I have time to work out a little bit more or eat a little healthier. I still love me. And that's what I want people to get. Chasing a scale or a size or a certain number will not get you where you need to be if you haven't done the work internally. Because once you get to that weight, you're still more than likely going to balloon back if you still have self-doubt, insecurity, if you still haven't learned or dealt with your trauma, it's going to come back and manifest in ways that you're not going to be ready for. And that was the biggest failure for me, going up and down on the scale. That made me feel worse than being at a bigger size.
I think if we look around at even the famous people, let's just take J-Lo, for instance. I think she's awesome. She has broke all kinds of ceilings and she does what she wants to do, but she is the perfect body, right? But she doesn't have the perfect love life. So it really doesn't matter what size you are. Anything, there's a barriers to everything that you do when it comes to an emotional relationship, right? Yeah. So in the struggle to find the perfect you that was there all the time, did you try any of the weight loss plans? If so, share the ones that you decided to delve into.
Oh my God, I have tried them all. Listen, I've done Weight Watchers, I've done starvation diets, I've tried every pill in the world, the ones that make your heart jump and all of those things. My favorite, I will say, is keto. Keto works the best for me and my lifestyle. I've had different types of meal plans, people bringing me food, all those type things. But the two things that work best with my life to make me feel good are juicing. I am an advocate of fresh pressed juices. That should be, whether you're trying to lose weight or not, that should be a component that you keep a part of your everyday life. My kids, if they want orange juice, they'll juice them some fresh orange juice or fresh apple juice. And also carbs, my body responds special to carbs. So I love cakes and ice cream and banana puddings and bread and all of those good things. So yeah, I try to stick with keto if I'm in a phase where I need to, slim down for something, photo shoot or anything like that. But
So keto doesn't give you carbs, or it does give
so
you?
keto is a plan that focuses on high protein, high fat intake and eliminates carbs. So it works. So no breads, no pastas, or you try to stay, I believe it's less than 50 grams a day, depending on your goals of breads and pasta, because those are the things that's getting your body and kind of stay. They like to be the overnight guest that doesn't go home anytime soon. Whereas protein gets into your body, it ramps you up, gets you nice and energized, and goes on about its business. That's why your metabolism keeps going. But carbs like to go and sit and just Netflix and chill in your body, and we don't have time for that. So for me and my body, if I need to slim down, I try to eliminate the carbs.
And does it help with your daily bowel movement when you're in keto? Does it kind of purify your body, or what the hell?
Keto can do two things. It depends on your intake and how you are, whether you have bowel moves or not. An increase in protein can also sometimes cause constipation. So it's always good to, whatever diet that you're on, to always try to drink half of your body weight in water. So that'll help any program that you're on, help flush you out and keep your bowels moving, especially fresh pressed juices. Number one tip, if you learn nothing from me, if you ever have a situation where you can't go, get beets. Get beets and beets and juice them. It's amazing.
Really?
If you can't do them straight, add a little carrot and pineapple juice to it. It'll keep you going forever. Now your bowels may change colors, but you're gonna feel amazing afterwards. But yeah, you definitely got to keep your water intake up with any program that you on.
Are those fresh beets or canned beets, or it doesn't matter?
Fresh beets. You get a fresh beet, and you get a juicer. A part of my book talks about juicing. I have a bonus chapter that we talk all about juicing, and I give you all of my amazing recipes to help with clearing your skin, making sure you're nice and bright and healthy, have that pregnant glow, as people like to say, without the makeup. We have tips in there to get your energy up naturally without taking the 5-hour energies. If you have sleep issues, we have some recipes in there. And it talks about the various juicers that I recommend that can help you on your journey to wellness.
Did you seek counseling?
Absolutely.
Okay, tell us about that.
Yes. So my first counseling session was.
Let me qualify that. Were your counselors Black?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Not saying anyone else.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking a question. Yes.
For me, in order to understand me, I need you to at least look like me. So I am very, very, very keen on our community, staying within our community with issues that deal with us, because who's going to understand our community but us? And I'll tell you a reason why I went that route for myself. When I first had my son, I was a teenage mom. I had my son at the age of 18. And he was, as they said, different in school. That's what they called him. So he was the hyper kid that bounced around. I didn't know. And he was referred to a therapist. And we went to a therapist, and we had someone that didn't look like us. And the first thing they went to was medicine. They prescribed medicine for him. And it kind of threw me back, like, wait a minute, isn't that a step 1, 2? I'm still young. I'm 19 at the time. But I know you don't get from one to here go pill. I know it's some things in the middle. So that put a kind of stigma in my head that we have to work with individuals that look like us. And I was like, nah, this doesn't seem right. We took him to another therapist that looked like us. And she had him in try sports, try karate, try all of these things. We never had the medicine talk again. So for me, when it came time for me to get my mental health in order, I chose someone that looks like me. I had both a professional doctor and a spiritual guide. I believe in the holistic approach as well.
Absolutely.
And together, those two, of talking to my therapist and using a holistic approach to healing, learning my ancestry and learning about who we are as a people, outside of what we have been Americanized to be, helped me understand my intuitions and my ancestors and what's going on and how I'm being guided, and to further recognize healing comes within. It's easy as long as you recognize that it's a need for it.
Is counseling something that you will continue to do
Yeah.
throughout your life because you think it's important?
My schedule and all the stuff I got going on. Yes, I need it. I had a session today. Yes, absolutely. It's definitely, it's a safe haven for me. Being someone that is semi in the public eye, and I run so many businesses and considered a business leader in my community, that you have to safeguard a lot of the things that you're going through. I'm extremely transparent, but some things you do have to keep close, and not knowing that I do have triggers and I do have things, those triggers never really go away. You just learn to better deal and manage. And to have somebody that I can confide in and it can be safe is something that I will always keep a part of my team.
And when you're in your counseling, when you're out in the public, a lot of times people don't know how to maintain space, right? So have you learned how to deal with the people who don't maintain your space? Sometimes I have an issue with that. And then, the other person shows up and you're like, oh, wait a minute. You can't do that. You're in public, right? So
yeah, I'm an extrovert. So I am all people. Like, COVID killed me because I couldn't touch, I couldn't feel. Where's my people? I need my people. So I don't have space. It's like, what we doing? Well, let me touch it. All of those type of things. So yeah, I don't have that much of a problem. It's hard for me now because every time I come home, I got to literally take all my clothes off at the door, put them in the bag because I didn't touch and hug along with everybody.
Right.
So yeah, COVID's doing me dirty right now.
Well, has it eased up some in you're in Texas, right? No, you're in Virginia.
I'm in Virginia.
Yeah, has it eased up a little bit?
Yeah, we're fully back open. People are extremely responsible. I have an older clientele with both of my lounges, so I'm interacting with people that are extremely responsible. A lot of them are vaccinated, and we make sure we stay safe. But I still miss hugs.
Oh yeah. When you talk about your social and your dating and your family life, tell us how your weight gain, loss, impacted that circle.
Well, from my love life standpoint, it allowed me, where do I start? So I got a chapter in the book, we talk about that ex-husband. So he was something special. He married me when I was a little thicker, and I lost weight and gained it back and had kids and gained. It was an up and down yo-yo. And what it did was it put me in a position where I took things from cheating, abuse, verbal abuse, literally leaving and gone missing for weeks at a time. I took those things because I didn't feel worthy. I didn't feel worthy of anything outside of his presence. I just had to be thankful that he was there. And that transpired from my father, knowing that just because he was around, if he called my name, I was happy. If he called me, regardless if he was missing for months, I was still happy. Like you said, you marry your father.
Like a little puppet. Yeah.
I remained a puppet in my personal life, in my relationships, until I finally had to get me together. It took the breakdown of my marriage and me acknowledging that, no, it's me. You treat people how to treat you. And I definitely taught people that, relationship-wise, that I was not worthy. When it came to friendships and professionally, I don't have those problems because lucky for me, I'm a Gemini. So it's two of us. And in the streets, as I like to say, or in business, I don't play those games. It's all business focused. I don't care if I'm 500 pounds or I'm 120. It's all about business. So I was able to turn on and off. Relationships with my friends.
Not your family. How about your family?
Oh, my family loves me. I'm the princess in my family. So I'm the youngest of four. Older now that I've been able to tap into they'll still say I'm spoiled, but my mom is the highlight and the star of my life. And I can do no wrong in her eyes. And as long as she still adores me, I am going to be amazing.
What about the friendships? Let's go back to that. About, maybe women in your circle who would give you a helping hand, and then women in your circle who would, give you a bowl of ice cream as opposed to helping you through it.
Yeah, I never really revealed to my friends that I was suffering from any type of issues, whether I was smaller or I was bigger. I kind of kept that inside, that I have what they call fake confidence. I had learned how to fake my confidence so strong that they never would have known that I was suffering, or I turned down the opportunity to go out because I had tried on 15 outfits prior and I felt fat and I didn't feel worthy, or they were smaller. And I knew if we went out, the guys wouldn't look at me, they would only look at them. So I would never reveal those things. I would just say, oh, I don't feel like going out tonight, or I wouldn't answer my phone, or all those things. But I was suffering at home because I didn't have the confidence within myself.
So tell us about that pivotal moment when you realized you were enough.
So it's kind of a combination of things that happened, but I can remember when I knew I needed a change and I went on that quest to get that change. It was the launch of one of my second businesses. I had been separated from my ex-husband for, I'll probably say, a little over a year. I didn't let anybody know because image was very important to me. I am at this time was a professional in local government. I was up and coming, so I had to develop a name for myself. And in a field where if a woman looks anything like something or is shaped anything like something, they automatically try to say, well, you got here because of how you look or all of those type of things. So being married kind of was my shield. This is no, she's married, so that definitely couldn't be. So I didn't want anybody to know that I was divorced, or was about to go through a divorce. So we were having the launch of the juice bar portion of F.R.E.S.H being open. The media was there. We had a lot of press outside covering the event. And I begged him, like, please, just come. I need to put a face on. And when he got there, he embarrassed me so bad. It was horrible. To the point I was fearful of people knowing that I wasn't who I said I was, that I was willing at that
point. The mask was coming off.
The mask was coming off.
Yeah.
And it scared the heck out of me, that I was in a corner pleading with him, like, please, just come take this picture. Whatever you want, I'm going to give you, like. And when he still refused, and the more that I begged, the more his ego went up, like, I got you. Oh, you scared to let anybody know that you're not who you say you are. Once he revealed my face to me and I heard it, I know what I felt, but when he said that to me, at that point, I took my own mask off. I went out to the media, I took the pictures on my own. And at that point, I completely walked away and I went on a healing journey for 3.5 years of celibacy and mentally preparing to be me without any mask. And it was a long journey, but I got there.
Do you think that's part of being My Fit is Beautiful, to do a celibacy journey? Do you think that helped? Or that's the question.
I'm gonna say to each his own on that one, but I will say what it did for me. So when I'm in love or I'm attaching myself to someone in an emotional, romantic type of way, I tend to lose me.
Right.
I tend to focus a lot of my energy and my desires and my hopes and wishes tend to revolve around persons.
Patti LaBelle has a line in one of her songs that says, I let them move into me like I was a house.
Yeah. And they become me. And all of my hopes and my dreams revolve around them. So when I went on that celibate journey, it was to protect me and my healing, because I knew what my weaknesses were. I knew love was a weakness for me when you're not whole.
Right.
When you're not whole as one and you're seeking love from someone else, you're trying to fill a void subconsciously that you don't know about. Right. So I had to plug all of my holes and rebuild my frame that I'm structurally sound. So the next time that I am in love, I'm coming as a full whole self without any barriers or without any leaks inside of me that can potentially put me off my game again. And that's what I did.
Your book is not just for, women of a certain age. How is it that you're sharing your information with the younger women? Because we know that a lot of those women have the same problems we had, but worse, because, McDonald's has hormones in it.
Yes.
Burger King has hormones in it. All that food has hormones in it. And
Yes.
so the development is much quicker than it was when we were coming up. And yeah, we gained weight, but it wasn't hormonal. It was sugar, right? How do you have conversations? Because you have so many businesses. Do you have conversations with younger people about those types of things? Or is that too delicate at a certain age to take that in?
No, it actually is the platform that started what F.R.E.S.H is all about. Okay. So we started a nonprofit called F.R.E.S.H Kids, which is a 501c that focuses on eliminating childhood obesity through the interaction through their parents. So we feel that if we get to the parents and we teach the parents, when you know better, you do better. So we teach the parents how to eat, and we teach the parents the importance of exercise and nutrition and getting out here and just getting vitamin D. Especially in our community as African-American women, we are the number one of deficiencies in vitamin D. A lot of our weight gain comes from vitamin D deficiency. So we teach walks at night in the on your lunch. Take a walk. That vitamin D is free. You don't need a pill for that. So we attach ourselves to the parents, and through their knowledge, it trickles down to the kids. We do, well, prior to COVID, we had free group fitness classes for kids. We had a dance team called Fit Barbies that we gave free workout. Well, they thought they were dancing, but it was working out.
Right.
And, we had a lot of interactions. I hope to get back to that program. I currently work with the Head Start program in Virginia Beach to help with their nutrition and talking to the kids and targeting those who are suffering from obesity. I work with their parents, work with them. And currently, anytime I get an opportunity, if I see, so I give you a kind of example, one of my daughter's friends is she reminded me of myself. Growing up, she was—
We'll just call her pleasingly plump.
Yes, she was thicker than the other, she's thicker than the other girls. And I kind of pulled her to the side, had a small talk with her, and just had a conversation of, how are you feeling? You were me. Right. And I know how that manifested inside of me. So I try to keep up with her and have conversations and give her tips of how she can, combat those issues now. So when she gets older, it doesn't become an issue that manifests into adulthood.
So let's talk about your journey to becoming an author. And can you tell us, please, for our first-time authors, things you learned that you will never do again while developing and publishing your book? And will there be a part 2 to this book?
Awesome question. So I was first introduced to literature. My sister is Kiki Swinson. She is a New York Times best-selling author. Yes. So I kind of have some good genes in me to the path of where we wanted to go and what we needed to do. But, like me, and I don't never want to piggyback off my sister's back, so I kind of did it myself. The first thing, if you're as busy as me, it's always good to get somebody that can help you. I sat on this book for almost a year, writing a couple of chapters every couple of months. Because you think about something and you go back and change it with your first part, just go for it. Go for it. Don't second guess it. Just keep writing whether it makes sense or not. And you'll be surprised of when you go back and read it, it pulls up other emotions or other topics that you can feed off of. So never look for a perfect path, just write. And that's why working with my team, it was amazing for me because I was able to just spit off everything that I needed, and then she'll transcribe it and send it back, and I was able to write chapter after chapter just from reading what I had already written. So I definitely recommend, don't stop, just write. Don't think about it. I like the audio version to write audio wise. So if you're an individual who really doesn't have time to type, or you're looking for the perfect format, seek help. it's okay. It doesn't mean that you didn't write your book. You most definitely did. You just had someone to help transcribe for you. So I would write my chapter there talking, and then have someone transcribe it, sends it back. Everybody know Angie is amazing. And you kind of go from there. Some mistakes with printing, make sure you do your homework ahead of time instead of getting to the last minute trying to print it. Seek the best prices. I think, like I said, I had a team, so kind of all of that was taken care of for me. But that definitely, if I had more time, I would definitely have sort out different vendors to print the book and the different styles of books, to make sure that process is a little bit more easier for me.
And why did you decide to put yourself on the cover? Was that always?
That was me. So we went back and forth, and we were going back and forth with different graphic designers to see what was the best way for me. And I sat back and thought, and I'm giving something that's so intimate. When you read the book, you're going to see some of my most intimate moments. It starts off with a banger. It starts off from the top. Bam! Front page of the paper type movement. So I didn't hold anything back. So I wanted to give you my authentic self at my size without holding anything back. I wanted you to know up front, a size 2 is not right in this book. It's me. And I wanted to give you all of that. So no perfect way to communicate that message than to put me on the cover.
I thought it was well done. And if you go to her website, it's
www.sunshineswinson.com.
She has a photo shoot that is amazing. And how many times did you change clothes? Like 5?
I think we did
4 or 5. Yeah.
4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah. It was very well done.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have some questions in the chat. Let me see.
Ooh, yay.
Mama Tony's really happy because her football team is winning, I guess, at this point.
What's your football team, Mama Tony?
Dallas Cowboys.
I knew it was connected. I felt that energy. I felt it.
It's time right now, and we got the ball.
Okay. Do you have any food products, gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free, soy-free, nut-free, that you put, I guess, in your smoothies? Is there a smoothie for that?
So there is a product that I don't know if it's gluten-free or any of those type things, but it's called Uninjured, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's UNJURY or UJURY. It's one of those two combinations, and that's a high-end protein that has less than 1 gram of sugar. It's 30 grams of protein per scoop. I believe it's all natural and it's vegan. And that is one of the catalysts that helped me to keep my weight or sustain throughout the day. 1 scoop, that's 30 grams of protein. When you're trying to eat anything, you tend to want to have 30 grams of protein per meal, roughly between 80 and 100 per day. And what you'll find is the higher the protein that you put in your body, the less hungry that you are. Most of the time that you are having those hunger type feels is, and I'll go through this in my book, you're either dehydrated, you don't have enough protein in your system, or you may have some type of pesticides or something in your stomach that is craving sugar. So that shake alone helped me literally get through some tough moments.
So this drinking that much water, I can only get 64 ounces in. So tell me, what is the magic to get all that water in a day? I just can't. 64 ounces is about all I can do.
So what I talk about in my book is water is literally your lipo. That is the easiest. You want liposuction? Drink a gallon of water a day. You're going to shrink in a matter of 30 days. And what it does is water literally flushes out everything in your body. So I still have challenges with that, especially with my day-to-day schedule. You'll forget. So what I do is I keep one of these spring water beside me. So I start my day off and I number them at the top. And 8 of these would be my gallon of water a day. So I put 4 with me, as because sometimes having a gallon, I don't have one around me, but having a gallon of water can be intimidating.
It is.
Very intimidating. So what I've done is I take 4 of these. So as I'm going out the door, I throw them in my purse and start with number 1. So I say, okay, by the time I get to my car, when I first get up in the morning, number 1 has to be gone before I pull out of the parking garage.
Okay.
It has to be gone. So then I start on number 2. So before I get to wherever I'm going, or if I'm in a meeting, by the time that meeting is finished, number 2 has to be finished. So after I finish that, I have to take some type of walk, because at that point in time, you peeing and you're just like, I don't want no more water. So I'll take a walk, or let's say if I'm downtown, I need to go to the city, instead of driving, I walk, and that creates a thirst. So now I'm on number 3. So while I'm eating lunch, that's number 4. I got a half gallon done by 12 o'clock. So by the time I get home in the evening, I start working on the last 4. So from a period of time I get home, if I know I'm going to be gone all day, I'll take all 8 bottles with me. But typically, like on a Monday, I try to be home between 2 and 3 o'clock to finish my evening. And that's when I start pacing myself. I get my bottle as soon as I walk through the door. I'm taking a walk towards the evening, so I take 2 bottles with me. So if I can do 2 to 3 miles, I get both bottles done, and then my last one is with dinner. And I try to finish my water by 7 o'clock, and you start all over the next day. It's the more expensive route because you're buying bottles a lot, but that tends to help me, because I still see that gallon of water like, no, I ain't even gonna do it.
So 8 a day. Okay, I probably can do that. I mean, I'm already getting in.
And if you want to get really fancy, get the Fiji bottles. So if you get the tall Fiji bottles, then you only need, I think, 2.5. So it's a little heavier to carry, but it looks cool. You walking around with your Fiji bottle. People are like, oh, she's drinking Fiji. It's all mental. I talk about it in my book. Everything is mental. Everything is mental. And if you can make it cool drinking water, get your Fiji bottle and be cool drinking water.
That's really funny. I did read something the other day that your mind will cultivate what your body needs to do if you let it.
Really? Gotta manifest greatness.
And sometimes we just don't take the time for that to happen.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you'd like to tell us about your book, Sunshine, before we wrap up?
Well, I would like to say that, and I started off very, very strong, that this is not about weight loss. This is not a quick scheme to drop a whole bunch of weight. I am not an expert when it comes to giving you ultimate diet plans and all of that, even though I do have some examples that have been healthy for me. Mm-hmm. This is about opening up and starting a healing journey for you. This is about getting the tools and being comfortable and feeling safe with someone. As I say in my book, I'm on this journey with you to be okay to unmask. If I can be someone that was put up in the public eye as somebody that's successful and this great entrepreneur that's going to help people lose thousands of pounds with her company Fit.Bar, and I turned up, as they call it, fat again, then I'm being vulnerable to letting you know that it can happen. There's no way that you can get through this process until you get through you first. And I want you to know that this book will not only help you, it would encourage you and give you the confidence that you need to unbreak that box and get ready to be your best self, regardless of your weight, regardless of your size, and wherever you are in life.
And I think our sister Oprah Winfrey would say the same thing.
Yes. Right? I'm little Oprah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you that, even with all the billions of dollars that she has, right? Mm-hmm. With all the motivation that she could have, right?
But she's finally found a place of self-love.
You got to find a place of self-love.
She's just like, I'm Oprah. She finally found out she's Oprah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And she's okay with that.
And she's okay with it.
Right. So I need your contact information for everybody, please. Your website, how they can get copies of the book.
Absolutely. Well, once again, thank you for this opportunity.
This is your first. I'm excited about this.
It's my first. If you're interested in pre-ordering the book, we are actually in print right now. We expect to have them in hand next week. Yay. I'm so excited. You can order at www.sunshineswinson. Sunshine is just like you spell it, SUNSHINE. And Swinson is SWINSON, so sunshineswinson.com. You can find me on all social media outlets at Sunshine Swinson as well. You can pre-order my book there and also learn a little bit more about me and the services that I offer through all of my companies, as well as my consulting firm too.
So at the end of all of our sessions, we ask the author to give us a pearl of wisdom.
I couldn't hear you.
A pearl of wisdom.
A pearl of wisdom that no matter what life, no matter where life takes you, or saying, you just know the only person that's going to be consistent is you. So no matter what, take care of you.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you, Sunshine. Thank you. I'm so excited about being the first. I'm very excited about that. I'll tell you that this will be up on Facebook within 20 minutes and on YouTube at midnight.
Okay, sounds
we
good.
will
I'll make
share
sure
it with
I
you
tag
then.
you.
Today, I received my last dose of vaccine. So everybody out there in the world, I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just telling you that F.R.E.S.H Book wants to go to the UK next year. And if you guys want to come with us, you gotta be vaccinated. So anyway, get your vaccinations. And this has been a F.R.E.S.H conversation. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Night.
Night.